right, good morning and happy Saturday, Central Georgia. We had such a great week, a mostly dry week. I don't think it really rained at all this week, and temperatures definitely were the main story, especially if you remember Monday and Tuesday, we had some heat advisories for a couple of days. I think it feels like temperatures around 112, 115 degrees. Now that we finally made it to the weekend, it's almost a complete different story. We have lots of rain chances in the forecast, especially for the afternoons and evenings. And then temperatures are also going to be a lot cooler as we head into the following week. So a couple of things to talk about. I'm going to go ahead and take this full, especially because we do have an outlined risk for tomorrow, and we do have an excessive flooding risk for today and tomorrow, since we do have some more showers and storms in store for us due to a cold front. So we'll break everything down and see what we have for the weekend. So I'm going to go ahead and take this full. And a beautiful start to this morning. The only places that did see a actual thunderstorm very early this morning was Jasper, Putnam, and then it should have weakened and pushed out towards the outer edges of Hancock this morning. Everybody else actually woke up pretty dry, and we have lots of cloud cover and seeing some blue skies. So actually a really nice start to our day. Temperatures across the U.S. are kind of pretty much average, mid to upper 70s, low to mid 80s for the most part. But something that you will notice is this feature right here where it's a little bit cooler, and then you see this spin. This is where our low pressure system is, and we'll notice kind of a little bit of a divide right there between Alabama and Georgia, and that's where some of those showers are that will be pushing into central Georgia by the afternoon and give us actually more rounds of showers and storms as we head into tomorrow. Overall temperatures across all of Georgia range between mid to upper 70s, cooler spots, especially up north today, since a lot of the showers and storms will be primarily there. And then the farther south that we are today, a little bit warmer just to kick off this morning. Closer to home, mid to upper 70s and mid to upper 80s. So 79 degrees in Eatonton and Eastman. And then we have some low 80s in Sparta, Milledgeville, Gordon, 82 degrees, and then some warmer numbers this morning, 85 degrees for Macon, 86 for Wrightsville, 87 for Warner Robins, and Dublin. So kind of a range of numbers as we go throughout the morning. Something that you will notice as you step outside is the air is a lot muggier. We did have a couple of days of some not bad humidity. Those lighter greens were on the map for a few days. We had dew points in the 60s, which honestly felt so nice. I took those days and went on walks, and it wasn't so oppressive, and it really did help with those heat indices. But now we kind of welcome back in to a very typical pattern for us here in central Georgia with lots of moisture, and that also will influence our feels like temperatures as we go throughout today. Something to note is we do have a lot of moisture being pumped in from the Gulf. So winds are coming from the west and the southwest today. That will actually pose for our rain chances this weekend and also impact us in terms of really heavy rainfall rates and some possible isolated flash flooding for the weekend. So lots of moisture present, and with the front coming in, we'll kind of pose some of those concerns as we go into the afternoons and evenings, and especially for tomorrow. Overall, feels like temperatures still kind of ranging, some of those cooler spots feeling its actual number in the low to mid 80s. We're already seeing the 90s and even 100 degrees in Dublin. But thankfully, at least it's not those 110s and 12s. But as we do have some dryness today, and we'll start to see some breakage in the cloud cover and see some sunshine before the showers and storms come to cool us off. Some places will feel pretty warm for today. So overall, we have a lot of cloud cover this morning, and we did start off a little bit warmer, but as we head into the afternoon and evening, we will have the possibility of seeing some more cloud cover and have some scattered showers and storms. Tomorrow we'll have some more widespread showers and storms, and even some places later today have the possibility of seeing that too. Overall temperatures will be a little bit cooler. Actual temperatures will be cooler for the weekend, and then we'll start to gradually warm up as we head into next week. and come back to a more average number. Overall, showers and storms all weekend long. A few of them are possible to be a little bit stronger, strong to severe storms this weekend, especially for tomorrow. And I'll outline some of those risks for us as I go throughout the stream and show future view and time things out, especially if you were doing any last minute outdoor plans or things before school really kicks off for most of everyone this week. It's the first day of August, which is so crazy. Cooler temps are also in the forecast with the rain. So just a couple of headlines that we'll talk about throughout this stream. Overall, a mostly cloudy scene. You can see a lot of those wind arrows are coming from the southwest and the west, and we can kind of see some of the showers and storms right on the border of Alabama and Georgia. So our current surface map and what it looks like is this low pressure system actually tracked pretty fast. So we had the front out towards the west just about a day or so ago. So this front pushed through, and we had some warmer temperatures the last couple of days due to the warm front, but now that this cold front is pushing through, it's going to spark up those rounds of showers and storms for this weekend and also keep the temperatures at bay for the next couple of days. So as we head into the rest of today, we did have a couple of showers this morning and that thunderstorm that I had mentioned. Lots of cloud cover though, and the front is kind of really distinguished right here. As you saw the surface map not too long ago, that low pressure system is a little bit up north. So that front is just hanging down, and it'll actually be moving in through this weekend pretty slowly. So it's something to keep in mind, since a lot of these thunderstorms this weekend can have a lot of rainfall to them due to all the moisture that we have present, but they can also do something called training, which they can actually go lots of thunderstorms sweeping through the same area, and slow moving storms could cause that pros and risk for isolated flash flooding. Overall, this line of storms that is over in Alabama right now was gaining some strength, but this magical line of the border here where we cross Alabama to Georgia tends to always weaken these storms as they move in. So at least for the next couple hours, I think we'll stay mainly dry, and then we'll start to see the spark for showers and storms this afternoon and evening. So it's kind of initializing correctly, not too well. We're not really seeing any of this right now this morning. If anything, this line is more believable since we just saw some of those starting to weaken as it crosses the state line. But as we go throughout the afternoon and evening, a lot of this activity here is a little bit more believable than some of these. But you can expect pop-up showers and some storms. I would say a little bit more widespread towards our southern counties today. This front will be pushing through nice and slowly, so it will stay within the area for the entirety of today and for tomorrow. So you might want to have the rain gear handy for your afternoon and evening today and tomorrow. Overall, I do think we will have moments that we will have some breaks in the rain. So I'll take it back at 2 o'clock. You can always see some breaks in the clouds. We do have lots of cloud cover present, but I do think if you are trying to do anything outdoors, maybe just have the umbrella handy, because as we go throughout the rest of today, we could have some of those breaks and moments of dryness. We go into Sunday, and this is where we're keeping our eyes a little bit more open on, since we do have a level 1 risk for tomorrow for just a few storms being a little bit stronger to severe. In the early mornings, it's showing some light showers for the early morning commute, but I think as you get ready for church, it will be mainly nice and dry. So that 7, 8 a.m. hour, other than maybe a few of these outer showers and storms, by the time you make it through church and you're probably leaving church, I will say have the umbrella with you. We'll have a better chance at more widespread coverage of showers and storms tomorrow, and definitely thunderstorms. So as we go throughout the day, and this is where this bulk and this line of storms kind of brings our eyes and our ears to the attention for tomorrow for the possibility of really gusty winds with some of these storms, heavy downpours, the possibility of hail as well, and isolated flash flooding for tomorrow. So after church, maybe have the rain gear with you, and if you had any plans to be outdoors or you wanted to run errands, I would say today would be the better day versus tomorrow. We'll continue into the evening and it'll actually kind of push out, and we'll come back to a very typical and normal summertime pattern as we go into Monday. So Monday morning, lots of cloud cover, maybe a couple sprinkles, and then those pop-up showers and storms within the early afternoons will kind of come back into the forecast. And I wanted to show at least the day one storm outlook for today. We're not in the outlined risk at all. Most of North Georgia is in a level 2 and a level 1 for some of those, since the front does kind of swoop down and that front kind of swings down this way. Tomorrow is where we have our level 1 for most of all of central Georgia, and we kind of saw that bulk in that line of storms that will create kind of like a straight line and bring us the risk for some straight line winds for tomorrow. So that's something to keep in mind if you are doing things outdoors. For future view rainfall, as we go throughout the weekend, we have the possibility of some places getting at least 1 inch of rain, 2 inches of rain. It really just depends on where all these storms will end up moving and how many rounds of it we end up seeing for today and tomorrow. But much more of a likelihood tomorrow that we would have a greater rainfall total than today. And the Weather Prediction Center did release this. This is the excessive rainfall outlook. They usually will put one of these out for the possibility of isolated to scattered flash flooding. Yesterday, only a portion of the area was under a yellow and most of the area was under a green marginal. Today, they've increased that risk, so all of central Georgia and most of Georgia in itself is under a slight risk for scattered flash flooding. So something to keep in mind, especially as we head into tomorrow. So if you're driving on the roads and you see even a couple inches of water, I wouldn't drive in it, turn around, don't drown. It's usually one of the best things to do, especially since our vehicles also don't do really well in some deep water. So I don't think it's going to be too drastic, depending on how heavy these rainfall rates are. But as we get into next week, that front kind of moves out and we can kind of see it almost become a little bit stationary. So this front will move through and the low pressure system will hang right off the coast and it'll sweep down and stay a little bit stationary for us. So that will pose our really normal afternoon showers and storms each and every day as we head into Wednesday, Thursday, and you can kind of see that front just lies there where the greens and the blues match right here, and a possible other low pressure system as well. So overall, summertime pattern for next week, more scattered to widespread showers for today and tomorrow. If we recap July, we were actually really below average, but I also will say the rainfall totals that we do end up getting usually come from the middle regional airport. And sometimes we get lots of rainfall in our southern counties and our northern counties, and sometimes Macon doesn't get any rainfall at all. So I do believe that we do have more rainfall than just a little over 2 inches, though I don't know if we really reached that 4 3/4, a little bit over. So as we go into August, the average actually does go down for August. So the average amount of rainfall that we do get is a little over 4 1/4, 4.38 inches. And with this weekend, I think a couple of places could even see at least half an inch, 1 to 2 inches of rain. So I definitely think we'll probably start off August in a little bit of a right around to above average. Overall, the 2026 rainfall till today, from January to April, I don't know if you remember, it was some really, really dry months. And that was when we were having the probably worst droughts that we had for about 8 months. And then May came along, June came along, and we were above average for the rainfall. We are below average technically for July, but I do believe we probably are near to around average due to how much rainfall we actually did see in July. And as we head into this next week, I really don't think we're trying to clear too much of a drought. I think we're actually doing really, really well. Usually an abnormally dry in the yellow regions is not too bad. So for us to absolutely get rid of our darker reds from exceptional to extreme and severe, because those 3 colors were probably the basis of our colors for about 8 months, is absolutely amazing. So definitely something that we'll keep our eye on as we go into August, and maybe that map will be completely clear and we won't see anything at all. July high temperatures was a little bit of a split in half. We did have a couple days where our system did not record since it was down, but the beginning of July, really hot temperatures. If you remember celebrating with family for July 4th weekend, I remember that day so clearly. It was humid, it was hot. Our hottest day this year so far for Macon was on July 4th, 97 degrees. But even a couple places around central Georgia did see past that. So for us here in Macon, it was officially 97, and we did have lots of below average days as well. We even saw 88 degrees. I do believe we'll see the 80s for a couple places today and tomorrow as we start August. And afternoon highs, I'll show you right here, around mid to upper 80s, low 90s today. And if you see more sunshine, I do believe that you'll reach the low 90s for sure. For a couple places that receive cloud cover and some rainfall, I could also expect those to be a little bit cooler as we go throughout the weekend, and then we'll gradually incline back into our normal average as we head into next weekend. But if you were wondering how August is looking like, our Climate Prediction Center did put out our temperature outlook for August, and we are looking to be above normal. So some of the darker oranges and reds, usually around average, is that gray to tan color right here. This is a little below, this is right on average. So we're looking like it's going to be maybe a really hot August as we head into the next couple of weeks. And for those that love the heat, this is really great news. But those that are really wanting fall, I've been kind of having the itch for fall. So hopefully the hot temperatures don't stick with us for too long. A little bit of a recap on a hurricane season. We actually don't have anything in the Atlantic right now. Oh, I think my graphic decided that it does not want to load. There we go. For our tropics outlook, we don't have anything. No activity is expected in the next 7 days. And if you notice, this plume of Saharan dust has gotten thicker and thicker just off the coast of Africa, the west coast of Africa. This really does help in the development of storms. So it really helps bring the shear down that hurricanes need, and also helps with them from forming. So some really good news for us. And to kind of just recap last year versus this year, we had no U.S. landfalls in terms of tropical storms and hurricanes last year. Tropical storm Andrea, we did have, actually, no, it was hurricanes. We did have 4 tropical storms, but for the 2025 season, only 6 named storms were named before our peak, and then 7 named storms were named after our peak. And our peak usually happens on September 10th, and that's usually our peak of the season. This year, we've had 2 named storms so far, and that has been Tropical Storm Arthur. If you remember, we had the remnants of it. It gave us some severe thunderstorm warnings, but overall, the remnants of that, and Tropical Storm Bertha. Overall, 11 to 12 named storms are still to be forecasted as we go throughout this season. And typically during the hurricane season, we usually start to see our first hurricane around August 11th, and the peak of the season is September 10th. I don't think we're actually going to see it by August 11th. You kind of just saw we have lots of Saharan dust in the tropics right now. So thankfully, and also being an El Nino year with some cooler sea surface temperatures in the Atlantic is definitely helping us so far. The season does end November 30th, so we do have quite many months away before we can kind of really say woof to hurricane season. But as we jump into next week, we do have lots of schools starting school on August 3rd. Bibb County, Dodge, Dublin, Houston, Macon, and Wilkinson County. So I'm really excited next week. Meteorologist Ansley Parker will be out there at a couple of schools, so it's going to be a really great week. To kind of recap this weekend, we do have the possibility of scattered showers and storms later this afternoon and evening. I do think we'll stay mainly dry throughout the day, and you'll have some times throughout today to kind of get out and about and run your errands or do anything outdoors. Tomorrow, on the other hand, I do expect us to have lots more widespread coverage rain for most across central Georgia. If you don't receive rain today, I think tomorrow you will have a better chance at seeing some rain. So having the rain gear probably with you in the car on Saturday or today will be a really smart idea, as opposed to having the umbrella on you probably all day long for tomorrow. Temperatures a little bit cooler with the cloud cover that we do have in store, and the rain we'll receive later. And then we start to increase in temperatures, mid to upper 80s as we head into Monday. Low 90s come back. I do think those that do have some more sunshine in store for them today will see the low 90s. But overall, as we head into next week, that summertime pattern does come back, so we'll start to see an increase in those temperatures. So kind of a lot of things in store for us as we head into the rest of today and tomorrow. So something you'll want to do for this weekend is probably stay weather aware for tomorrow. We do have this line of showers and storms and a couple rounds of it for tomorrow. We are outlined in the level 1 risk, so meteorologist Braylon and I will have a really good eye and see if we have to hand off to each other due to some of the timing of the storms, since a lot of this will be in that early afternoon. But for the rest of today, I think we're looking like a really great day, other than maybe your garden receiving some more rain this weekend. And as we head into next week, a more typical summertime pattern does come back. So nothing bad for us next weekend, and hopefully this weekend nothing will become too bad. But overall, I will get us back to our radar. These showers and storms that are making their way through Alabama are weakening. I will keep an eye on the radar as we head into the evening, and meteorologist Braylon Hardy will be here tonight for your evening shows at 6 and 11 later today. So thank you so much, and have a great rest of your Saturday. And I'll see you guys back here for the extended for Sunday at 10 a.m.